Bringing people and communities together on seclosounds.org.
Your listening station.
My guest this week is Razvan from the Romanian Tourist Board based in London. So the topic for this show is Romania, and that's all coming up on the Guinn Travel Show on seclosounds.org. Hello and welcome to the Guinn Travel Show on seclosounds.org. So as I mentioned in the intro, the focus on this week's show is Romania. The format of this show is slightly different to the previous ones. Before I had the main guest, or guests, and then I had the new travel news at the end. Well, this week I'm going to be spreading the news in between the guest, breaking it up, so you have to listen to the whole lot if you want to get all the travel news. So, as I said, the guest this week is Razvan, who comes from the Romanian Tourist Office based in London. And I just want to mention that my studio, when I record this, is a little bit countrified, and you might hear a load of birds tweeting. It seems that all the birds in the whole of my village decided to camp outside my studio window while I was recording this. But don't let that just take you away from the information that Razvan's going to be sharing. And of course, we're going to start off by finding out where Romania is and how to get there. Razvan, whereabouts is Romania?
Hi, John. It's in southeastern Europe, south of Ukraine, to the east of Hungary and Serbia, and to the south of Romania is Bulgaria. So we quite almost surrounded by Slavic countries. We are the only Latin and Byzantine country in the region.
Okay. Is Romania a large country?
I would say it's in the middle to large range. I mean, it is larger than Great Britain, but it's smaller than France, for instance.
Okay. What's the brief history of Romania?
Right. So Romania was born from the Dacians that used to live on the territory of present-day Romania, and the Romans that conquered that territory and transformed it into a colony. But the present-day Romania dates from 1918, when the three main regions that form now Romania got together, and then for the big union. Mm-hmm. So 1st of December 1918 was the birth of what we today call Romania. And that's why on the 1st of December we celebrate our National Day.
What's the climate like in Romania? I mean, how does the weather compare to the UK?
Well, we have very well-defined seasons in Romania. I mean, in the winter it's really cold and it's snowing a lot. We have rainy springs and autumns with the occasional sunny day, and the summers are really, really hot. It can get up to 38 to 40 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, that is hot.
It is, yeah.
You mentioned that in the history that it was three nations coming together to make Romania. So is there one official language, or is there more than one? There's
only one official language, that is Romanian. Mm-hmm. It's a Latin language. It is part of the Latin language family like French, Portuguese, Spanish, and Italian.
Would somebody like me, who's a typical British tourist who can only speak English, would I be okay over there?
Yeah, you'll be fine. I mean, most of the people, especially those who work in the hospitality industry, they speak English, and we learn English at school since the second grade, so we're quite good at it, and you can manage very easily in Romania with English only.
Oh, that's good to know. I'm very lazy. With your currency, what do you use, and can you order it ahead of your trip, or do you have to wait until you get there?
The currency is leu, singular, plural it's lei, and you can only use that in Romania. You can either buy it when you arrive in Romania or take out some money from the ATM, or you can even buy it here in the UK at the post office, and from my experience you have to order 1 day in advance, but you can get it definitely here. Okay,
that's good to know. So how do you get to Romania from the UK, and if you're flying, how long does the flight take?
Right, of course you can get to Romania by car, by train. It's really far though, and it'll be a shame to lose so much time driving or traveling there by train when there are so many flights that go from the UK to Romania. Actually, the flight time is up to 3 hours, and Bucharest, the capital, is very well connected with London, with most important airports in the London area. We get flights from Heathrow, Gatwick, Stansted, and Luton. And also from Luton, we get a direct connection to 7 cities in Romania.
7? That's quite good.
Yeah. So wherever you want to go to in Romania, there's always an airport nearby with a direct connection to the UK. To London.
Gary Fitz here, every Monday, 10 o'clock.
Coming up, we've got Eric and Ernie.
Join me here on Seclo Sounds.
In your smile. It's from 1975. Eric and Ernie were four.
Gary, it's not Eric and Ernie, it's Earl and Ernie, the Cape Brothers, Union Man.
Oh, I see.
Gary Fitz here, every Monday, 10 o'clock.
Earl and Ernie.
You're listening to the John Guinn Travel Show on seclosounds.org. Still to come on the travel show, there's travel news, including a story about Wi-Fi take-up for airlines, and also news on the curfews in Thailand. But at the moment, I'm still speaking to Razvan from the Romanian Tourist Board based in London. We've just discussed about the climate and the official language and how to get there. And now we're going to start talking about the different regions that make up the country of Romania. I guess that most people have heard of Transylvania, but how many regions make up Romania?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, there used to be 3 main regions, which is Transylvania. That for many years was part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Then there is Moldova, to the west of the country, not to be confused with the Republic of Moldova, which is a separate country. So the Romanian Moldova used to be an independent principality for most of its history. And then south of the Carpathians is what they used to call the Romanian country. Now we call it Wallachia. And that's the main 3 regions, historical regions of Romania. Of course, these 3 regions can be further divided into smaller regions. But that's another long story.
Another long story. Speaking about the smaller regions, and I'm bound to pronounce this wrong, is it Wallachia?
Wallachia.
Wallachia. Oh, see, I wasn't even close. It's got.
No, you're very close.
There's Bucharest there, but what else does this small region offer?
To the north of the Bucharest, we have the Buzău County, where we are proud to have mud volcanoes, which are not actually mountains, but very small holes in the ground where the mud bubbles. If you travel west from Bucharest, there's this very beautiful hilly regions just under the Carpathian Mountains, full of beautiful resorts and monasteries and spa towns. And other than that, let's not forget to the south of Bucharest and around the southern border of Romania, we have the Danube.
Mm-hmm.
So, plenty of things to see besides Bucharest in Wallachia.
I'm going to have another go at speaking about a part of Romania now. Is it Maramureș?
Maramureș, yes.
Yes,
It's the northernmost region of Transylvania.
Mm-hmm.
I told you about the three historical regions, and
Mm-hmm.
each of them can be further divided into subregions.
Mm-hmm.
This is Maramureș, the subregion of Transylvania, is the northernmost part of the country, and it is the most traditional one.
Mm-hmm.
If you can imagine, people still wear their traditional national costumes in everyday life, so it's not just a show for the tourist.
Mm-hmm.
Many traditions are still kept alive there,
Okay.
and I'm talking about wood carving. They make the most beautiful wood gates of there. The carpet making is still alive. The pottery making is still alive in that region of the country. It's very beautiful nature-wise. And also it hosts the world's only happy cemetery. There's this cemetery where they have the crosses, and the crosses are painted in lively colors, and each cross has a poem about the life of the deceased, and the poem is a happy one.
Okay.
So it's quite a unique thing that I think everybody should visit when they go to Maramureș.
Yeah, I've never come across that before, so a happy cemetery. I'm going to give up a little bit on pronouncing the areas' names at the second. I'm going to chicken out, but in one of the parts of Romania, there's a reservation of the biosphere. What's that?
Reservation of the biosphere in Dobroja. We're talking about the Danube Delta, which is a nature's paradise. It's one of the most beautiful parts of Romania. It's the only delta in Europe. It's where the Danube, the river Danube, meets the Black Sea. Plenty of birds to see. It's a paradise for bird watchers, and it's one of the most biologically diverse regions on Earth.
Have you spent much time there yourself?
I've been there twice, I think, and it's a place that's in a continuous development. I mean, they call it the newest Romanian land because it grows every year with the. This is difficult to explain, but with whatever Danube brings into the Black Sea, it stays there and it forms another centimeter or two of land each year.
All right.
So it's really nice. It's a place to enjoy in the spring and in autumn.
Okay.
When the birds either arrive or depart.
You're listening to the John Guinn Travel Show on seclosounds.org. Before I continue my conversation with Razvan, here's the first bit of travel news. When I've mentioned the coup in Thailand over the last few weeks, I've said that it's always a fluid situation and you never know what's going to be happening. And any information given out by a show such as mine could be out of date by the time you hear it. And you should always keep up to date with the Foreign Commonwealth Office website and other news sources. But that said, I just want to mention that the curfew at 8 tourist areas in Thailand is expected to be lifted in the next few days. The Ministry of Tourism and Sports has announced plans to propose that military leaders under the National Council for Peace and Order they should lift the curfew in resorts areas, including Pyongyang, Trang, Chanam, Hue Hin, and a couple of Krabi, and a couple of others, which I'm really not going to have a go at pronouncing, because I've already made a right mess of those ones. But this has already followed resorts in Thailand, which are already more popular resorts in Thailand, like Phuket, where the curfew was lifted already. This curfew, for those who weren't sure, was imposed on the 22nd of May following the military coup. And the purpose of all this and the news blackout was to maintain order, apparently. So, if you're going to Thailand and you're in the beach area and you were worried about the coup, speak to the people you booked your holiday with, because it looks like the curfew in most of the tourism areas is going to be lifted. Bangkok, still not so sure yet, so as I said, keep in touch with your travel provider, keep in touch with the Foreign and Commonwealth Office website, which is www.gov.uk/FCO, and make sure that you're fully up to date before you go to Thailand over the next few weeks. I'm speaking to Razvan from the Romanian Tourist Board this week, and we're going to speak in more detail now about Transylvania, and I'll get told off a little bit about saying that Transylvania has had some bad press with the Dracula story and everything, but I'll soon get put in my place. But Razvan's going to discuss Transylvania and the other regions in Romania. Getting back to Transylvania, has Transylvania had a bad press? What's the area really like?
Why do you say it had a bad press?
Well, people remember it about Dracula and horror movies, and they think it's all about vampires.
Yeah, well, I don't personally consider this bad press.
No? Okay.
Yeah, every form of publicity is good.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the people linked, of course, Transylvania with the myth of Dracula.
Yep.
And actually the myth of Dracula was inspired by a Romanian prince, Vlad. We do accommodate the need of the tourists to see something connected with Dracula. There is a Dracula hotel, there is a Dracula castle, and we are in the process of building a Dracula circuit in Transylvania. But it didn't have a bad press at all. I mean, it's Prince Charles' favorite part of Europe. He comes there. He comes to Transylvania every year. He has properties there, and he always speaks highly about this part of Romania.
I will never say that Dracula's bad press again. Then it's all good publicity.
It's not, John. It's not bad press.
No. Okay.
No.
Who was Dracula then? The prince.
Well, apparently he was a very bloodthirsty prince. He used to fight the Ottomans, the Turks, and he used to impale the prisoners of war. Is it correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why he's best remembered as Vlad the Impaler. So this connection with the sadistic way in which he killed the prisoners of war probably inspired Bram Stoker to write about Dracula.
Okay. So he wasn't the sort of person a girl should take home to their parents then?
I don't know what the tastes were in those days.
Okay.
In what regards who you bring home or not.
Okay.
Probably because he was a prince, regardless of his
Yeah, I suppose he was a good catch.
bloody preferences.
Yeah.
He was a good one to take home.
What about the other parts of Romania we haven't talked about? What do they have to offer a tourist?
Well, we haven't talked a lot, or we haven't talked at all about Moldova, the region of Romania that is called Moldova. Now, the main attraction there are the painted monasteries. So, most of you might have seen Orthodox churches in Greece or in Bulgaria or whichever Orthodox country you travel to. But in Romania, we have this unique feature that the Orthodox churches, especially the ones in Moldova, are painted on the outside. Of course, the painting depicts scenes of the Bible. But the way in which they are painted and the colors that were used, all natural colors, are quite unique. And the most famous one is Voronezh Monastery. And the blue that is used there, made out of plants, it's a unique shade of blue. It doesn't exist anywhere else in the world. But of course, apart from the monasteries, there's beautiful nature there, unspoiled, quiet little villages, places where people can spend quality time in the nature.
Yeah.
Well, also, we touched a bit on Dobroja, which is the region of Romania by the Black Sea. We talked about the Danube Delta, but it's also worth mentioning that we have quite a few summer resorts at the Black Sea. Most famous of them is Mamaia, who in the past few years has been named the Ibiza of the East. So it's famous for its nightlife and very lavish and luxurious nightclubs.
What about the other resorts on the Black Sea? How would they compare to Western Europe places like Spain?
Well, you have to bear in mind that the summer season in Romania is quite short. It starts in June and it finishes early September.
Okay.
So most of the resorts are used during this period. A lot of Romanians go to the seaside there. We see quite a lot of tourists from Northern Europe. But a lot of tourists go there not only to have fun and to swim in the sea, but also for treatment. We have some very good muds there, healing muds. People go to undergo treatments with this special mud. People go there to catch the ultraviolet rays of the sun early in the morning. And well, people go there to feel good and to achieve well-being.
I always ask this when my guest talks about the special mud they got in the country. Would it bring my hair back? No. I'm still looking for the cure.
Bring this to you, to be so blunt, but no.
One day I will find the place. One day.
One day.
Yeah.
This is Seklo Sounds. Join us every Wednesday at 7 p.m. for 1 hour in the company of Harry and Edna on the wireless, exploring all aspects of the vintage scene and playing tip-top gramophone tunes. Harry and Edna on the wireless, Wednesdays at 7 p.m. on seklosounds.org. Jolly good.
My name's Teresa Kelleher. Join me on Seklo Sounds every Wednesday at 8 p.m. for my show Inspired by Jazz. Each week I'll take you on a journey as I feature the music, the maestros and the melodies. That's Inspired by Jazz with me, Teresa, every Wednesday at 8 p.m. on Seklo Sounds.
You're listening to the John Guinn Travel Show on seklosounds.org. Before I get back to speaking to Razvan, here is some more travel news. Police in Paris have announced moves to further tighten security for tourists this summer. And this includes a creation of a 25-man field patrol unit for the Champs-Élysées. And also there's going to be increased vigilance, whatever that means, around the Gare du Nord, the train terminal for the Eurostar. The police have said that real progress has been made in enhancing the safety of tourists and employees in the city's tourism sector since an action plan for Paris's tourist zones was launched last year. Initially, when this was launched, the attention was focused on the popular spots around the Louvre Museum, Arc de Triomphe, Notre Dame, the Eiffel Tower, and one or two other places, which, guess what, I can't pronounce. But now the plan's going to be extended this year to the Boulevard Saint-Germain, the Lower Latin Quarter, Place du Chalet. A local unit will be dedicated to tracking anti-social behaviour and coordinated patrols, which will be organised by the Paris City Hall's Prevention and Protection Department. Alongside the police, will work in parks and gardens that are popular with tourists. Back now with my conversation with Razvan from the Romanian Tourist Board. We've done the regions and how to get to Romania. And before we move on to my favourite topic, which is food, we're going to talk about the World Heritage Sites that there are in Romania. You've got quite a few World Heritage Sites in Romania. How many is there, and which one's your favourite?
Now this is a difficult question. We have 25 World Heritage Sites in Romania, and the favorite one for me are the walled cities of Transylvania, and I'm going to name Brașov, Sighișoara, Biertan, Sibiu. They were all built by German settlers in the around 15th century to defend against the Ottoman invaders. And you may also remember that city of Sibiu was the European Capital of Culture in 2007. So all these are in the south part of Transylvania, just before the Carpathian Mountains.
Okay. So I'll look out for the walled cities.
Yeah.
Food, as well as asking about cures for my baldness, I always ask about food as well. Is there a national dish in Romania, or does it depend on which part of the country you're in?
Well, it does depend, of course, on which part of the country you're in, but wherever you go in Romania, you cannot escape a dish called sarmale, which is a national dish of Romania, and basically it's kind of borrowed from the Turks, from the Ottomans. It's basically cabbage leaves, cabbage rolls, filled with minced meat and rice.
Okay.
So they are. I mentioned that they were borrowed from the Turks, but it's kind of a fusion cuisine. I mean, I personally think that we invented fusion cuisine way before it became fashionable, because we kind of borrowed from each neighbor some dishes, and we transformed it into our own. So this sarmale that I was talking about, and it's widely considered as the national dish of Romania, it's served with chili peppers and with sour cream, and also with polenta. Usually our neighbors that also make sarmale either fill them only with rice and nuts, and not with meat, and serve them cold with olive oil. We serve them hot with sour cream, chili, and polenta. That's the national dish. And then, of course, you got variations in each region you go, and region-specific dishes. Like, for example, in Transylvania, you can find Transylvanian goulash, which is the same goulash that you can find in Hungary or in Austria or in other countries in Central Europe, but with a twist, because the Transylvanian goulash is thicker than the other ones. Then in Moldova, because it's so close to Russia, you can find borscht, which is also different from the borscht you can find in Russia, because we use sour cream with the borscht. And in the southern part of Romania, you find a lot of dishes, from kebabs to, I don't know, other dips that you can find in Turkey, for instance, or in Bulgaria. So all in all, you can visit the whole of Central and Eastern Europe just by visiting Romania. food-wise.
Food-wise, yeah. So
Yeah.
Romania's new strapline is the original home of fusion cooking. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a bit hungry now, but I hear there's wine in Romania. How good is it?
There is wine in Romania. You can find in every region of the country different vineyards. Is it vineyards or vineyards?
Wine. I'll get it wrong too. I think I'll just say different places you can get wine. That always gets me through that. So, which is the best place to get it from in Romania?
Well, it depends on the personal preferences. We have very good red wine. We have very good white wine. Some people say that the region of Dobroja makes the best white wine in Romania. And then for the best red wine in Romania, you have to travel up to Moldova
Okay.
to find it there. But this being said, Transylvania is also really good in producing homemade red wine. And also Wallachia has quite a range of homemade red wines. But for general consumption and wine that you can find in supermarkets, it usually comes either from Dobroja, from the region by the Black Sea, or from Moldova.
I've also read that some people go to Romania for medical treatment. Does this happen, and what sort of treatments do people go for?
I am personally very proud of our medical heritage. But this is a subject that I'm not a specialist in. What I can say is that Romania has a third of Europe's thermal waters, like healing waters. There are many spa resorts all over the country, so many that we issued a brochure. The Romanian Tourist Board has a brochure on all the spa resorts in Romania. Just not to be confused, the spa resorts refer to medical treatments rather than beauty treatments. So a very large range of medical treatments to be had in Romania. And of course, the prices are way cheaper than in the West.
Yep. Okay.
And also talking about medical treatments in Romania, a lot of people travel to our country to get dental treatments because it's of the highest quality and the prices are really low.
You can contact us or just keep up to date with travel news at facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show.
This is Seclo Sounds, your community radio station. If you'd like to volunteer some of your time and skills with Seclo Sounds, send an email to volunteers@seclosounds.org and let us know how you would like to be involved. MK Flyers Online, the fast and simple way to find any kind of business or service locally. Find us at mkflyersonline.co.uk or download the MK Flyers mobile app from your app store. MK Flyers Online proudly supports Seclo Sounds, community radio for Milton Keynes.
The John Guinn Travel Show. Checking it out before you check in on seclosounds.org. Still to come on the show, travel news, including that story I mentioned at the beginning about Wi-Fi in aeroplanes. But at the moment, I'm still speaking to Razvan from the Romanian Tourist Board. And now we're going to start looking at itineraries for those who want to visit, some touring ideas for you. Looking at an itinerary for people now, we have one or two examples. I mean, if somebody was to do a fly drive to Romania, where would you recommend they go for a scenic drive?
Oh, definitely the walled cities that I mentioned. The distance between them is not that great, but the drive is really scenic. But for something really unique, I would recommend two roads. The one crosses the Carpathian Mountains from Wallachia into Transylvania, and it's called Transylvania. It was built during the communist times, and it took tremendous effort and loss of life and everything, but the result is absolutely stunning. And this road, which travels at an altitude of more than 2,000 meters,
Mm-hmm.
it's one of the most famous in Romania, and unfortunately it's closed for most of the year. It's only open between the middle of June till the middle of August.
Okay.
And also there's another road called Transylvania, which travels the peak of the Carpathians. It's also at an altitude of more than 2,000 meters. And this Transylvania road was named by the Dracula show as one of the best scenic rides in Europe. So Transfăgărășan and Transalpina.
Okay.
Just remember this word if you can.
You've already heard me try and pronounce things. There's no way I'm going to manage that. If a small family is going to pop to Romania, 2 adults, 2 children, what sort of trip and where would you recommend they stay?
Well, definitely a trip to Transylvania or a trip to the Danube Delta.
Yeah.
It depends if you want to just to see the nature and just to live for a few days in a nature paradise like the Danube Delta, or if you want to combine beautiful nature, mountains, forests, with a bit of history, a bit of culture, then you have to go to Transylvania.
Okay. A city break to Bucharest. What are the must-sees and do's, and what's the minimum amount of time you should spend if you go there for a city break?
I would say a weekend would be ideal. If you can start your weekend on Thursday night, would be better.
Okay.
The main attraction in Bucharest is, of course, the Palace of the Parliament that was built by Ceausescu, our former dictator.
Yeah.
Now, this is the largest building in Europe. It's the second largest building in the world after the Pentagon. Currently, it houses the Romanian Parliament. And it's just mind-blowing. There are organized tours every day with English-speaking guides that will tell you about the amount of marble that was used, the crystals that were used for the chandeliers, how many rooms, how many windows, and how many people it can host. It's really out of this world. But there's just one attraction. Bucharest has a hop-on, hop-off bus, which is a very good value at less than £5 per person. And it's valid for 24 hours, and you can visit all the main attractions. There's an English-speaking guide on the bus. And besides the House of the Parliament, the Palace of the Parliament, you can visit a village museum where you can see examples of village architecture from all over Romania. You can also visit the National Science Museum. You can visit the History Museum and the Modern Art Museum. All of them recently renovated, all of them very interesting. Apart from that, Bucharest has renovated. I don't know if you noticed, but I'm just using this word, renovated, quite a lot.
Yeah.
Because we had a long history of communism, where the past wasn't valued at all, and everything that was connecting with the Romanian past was not really something that they wanted to promote.
Yeah, okay.
Now, everything is new. I mean, not new. Everything is renovated, and it looks really beautiful. And I was telling you about the old city of Bucharest, which is the central part of Bucharest. It used to be very old buildings there. Now it's transformed into a party part of Bucharest. Every building in the old city is either a restaurant, a bar, or a cafe, or a club. And Bucharest is the only capital city in Europe or in the European Union where you can party 24 hours because all the restaurants, all the bars are open 24 hours a day.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm getting to the age now
So
to be in
if
bed
you're
by
not
9.
going home at 11 o'clock
Yeah.
or 12 o'clock, you can party till the sun comes up.
I think that would kill me. I don't think I could handle the pace. Okay, so I never realised it was a 24-hour place.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Russell Hearn. Join me Fridays at 12 for a little pick-me-up. I'll be playing the music that stirs those warm memories and takes you to a special time and place. And Minnie's here with her choice of fun apps for your phone too. So for a lighter look at life and some songs you'll never forget, tune in to seclosounds.org for some happy radio.
You can contact us or just keep up to date with travel news at facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show. Coming to the end of my chat with Razvan now, and we're going to be talking about how easy it is to book holidays. Can you do it on your own? Do you need a travel agent or a tour operator? And also about events, what's going to be held over the years, over the rest of this year, and what's coming up next year, or any annual events. And of course how we can find out more. When it comes to visiting Romania, is it quite easy to put everything together yourself, or are you better off using a tour operator or a travel agent?
It depends on what kind of tourist you are, really. I mean, Romania is a very safe country to visit. We've been part of the European Union for 7 years now. And we meet every standard of every European standard in terms of safety. So if you'd rather go to, say, Hungary, and you'd rather not use a travel agent, it's the same in Romania. You can either use it or not. It's very easy to find your way. People do speak English there, and everything is very well signaled.
Signed, yeah.
Yeah. So it's impossible to get lost. Other than that, for your own comfort, you can use a travel agency that will make an itinerary for you, that can book flight tickets, hotels, and ground transportation there. But yeah, as I said, it really depends on what kind of tourist you are.
Are there any annual events in Romania, and is there anything left planned for the rest of this year or in next year?
There are a lot of festivals happening almost every month. Most of them connected with food or drink. We like to eat and to drink. So you can find online a calendar of this kind of events for this year. For next year, it's going to be released by the end of this year.
Okay.
But we have every September, we have the George Enescu Festival, which is a classical music festival. George Enescu was our biggest composer. Now, for those of you who like classical music, September is the month to be in Bucharest. It's a month-long festival. The main events take place, of course, in Bucharest, but there are several events in other big cities of Romania. Also, we have a very famous international film festival, which is actually happening in June, at the beginning of June, in the city of Cluj, which is the biggest city in Transylvania. And as I said, during the summer, most of the Romanians go to the seaside, where is the place to be in terms of entertainment and concerts. Bucharest, as any other big European capital, is visited by big music stars, so every now and then there's a huge concert over there. And for smaller scale entertainment, nothing beats a concert in one of the world churches of Transylvania. The people there play the organ.
Organ, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, plenty of things to keep yourself entertained and to get a sense of the Romanian culture whenever you go, wherever you are in Romania.
So plenty of food, drink and music. What more do you need?
Definitely. I think we're the European country with the most food and drink festival.
Okay. Finally, how can we find out more about visiting Romania?
How do you find out more? There's a tourist office, tourist information and promotional office here in London. It's on 12 Harley Street, close to the Oxford Circus tube station. People can come in here and we can provide them free maps of Romania, free maps of the big cities in Romania, camping maps. We also have a lot of brochures about Romanian nature, about Romanian culture. We have brochures about the regions. We have brochures about the cities of Romania. So really, all the information you need, you can find it at the Romanian Tourist Office in London. Other than that, if you don't live in London, you can go online. We have a website called www.romania.travel, where you can find all this information in English.
Okay.
Also, we do have a Facebook page.
Facebook as well.
You can find us there as well, and you can ask questions, and we will happily answer to them.
Okay. Well, great. Thanks, Razvan. Thanks for your time.
You're very welcome. I hope I told you just a tiny bit of what Romania is all about. I'm sure when you go there, you'll discover much more things. You'll discover your favorite Romanian dish. You'll discover your favorite Romanian place to be.
Yeah. Okay, great. You're listening to the John Guinn Travel Show on seclosounds.org. Seclo Sounds exists to bring people and communities together to celebrate all that's best about the city of Milton Keynes. We produce a variety of music and speech programs, and you've heard some of the promos in this show. And we're produced by local people and run by over 60 volunteers. However, there's always room for more, so if you have a program idea or a skill that you want to offer, please send us an email to volunteers@seclosounds.org. And of course, as we're all volunteers, we can't operate without the help from our partners, and one such partner is Interaction. Seclo Sounds is based at the old rectory, which is the home of Interaction MK. They've been bringing arts to life in Milton Keynes for over 35 years. They use the arts to improve the life chances of disabled people and others in challenging circumstances through shared curated activity. Their programs help participants to develop creative, personal and social skills. To find out more, please visit them at www.interactionmk.org.uk. You're listening to the John Guinn Travel Show on seclosounds.org. The Romanian Tourist Board website and the address for the office near Oxford Circus will be posted on the Facebook page, which is facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show. If you've been to Romania, you can use this page to post your experiences, your pictures, and to share what you've learned about Romania when you visited to help other listeners when they plan their trip there. And now for the final travel news for the show. I don't know about you, but I'm completely addicted to internet on my phone. And when I'm flying, I really do struggle for the 7 or 8 hours, or maybe more, not being able to keep up to date with my emails and the news and seeing what people are doing on Facebook. But that said, I'm not sure whether I'd pay for Wi-Fi when I was flying. And when it comes to that, it's not just me. Because a survey shown by TripAdvisor has said that the vast majority of US air travellers are unwilling to pay for in-flight Wi-Fi. They come up with this after analysing results from 4,300 respondents. And the TripAdvisor says that 90% of flyers rarely or never purchase Wi-Fi plans, which an American could range from $5 an hour to $16 a day. And only 3% of travellers said that they always use in-flight Wi-Fi. The survey showed that airline fees were the second biggest complaint for air travellers after uncomfortable seats. And I bumped into somebody at Luton Airport last week who didn't realise that their luggage wasn't included with their package holiday, and they had to stump up £100 with 2 suitcases. So they're also very unhappy with airline fees. And the thing with fees is you're going to be more unhappy with them if they get sprung upon you. But if you know in advance that they're going to be there, then maybe it's not so bad. But anyway, the survey has also shown that flyers are also overwhelmingly against the use of cell phones during a flight. And I'm with them. I just don't want phones to be used on a flight. It's bad enough when you go down the train and you've got people chatting to people and shouting, trying to say how important their life is and sharing with the whole carriage. The last thing I want is to sit next to somebody on a plane and going on and on and on about what's happened in their day-to-day and about the flight. The overwhelming majority was 81%, which is pretty high. What are your feelings on in-flight Wi-Fi and using the phones? Are you for it or against it? Have you used in-flight Wi-Fi? Was it worth the extra? Did you find it fast enough? Are you like me when it comes to cell phones? You don't want them allowed at all, or are you quite happy for loads of people to make phone calls? Let me know at facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show. A web-based booking system has come up with a formula showing if you can save money when you book your holiday independently. And of course this has upset quite a few travel agents, and it's upset me too because of my business model, which I'm not going into here. But basically, hotelfhr.com said with their formula you can work out whether you're going to save money by doing it yourself or if it's actually going to be worthwhile paying for a travel agent. And the formula is hourly wage times number of research hours equals minimum saving on a holiday. So if people are spending £200 on a holiday and they spent 3.5 hours researching their trip, they would have saved £30 or £8.57 an hour before they take into account their hourly wage. And £8.57 is more than the minimum wage but below the average wage. And it also said that 15% of Britons who booked holidays costing £2,500 and over, an average of 10 hours was spent on research, which made an average saving of nearly £240, or £24 an hour if they did it themselves. But it's more, as far as I'm concerned, it's more about just getting the book FHR.com into the news, because the formula doesn't make much sense. Obviously you should take into account your average working wage per hour, but if you're doing this in your own spare time you wouldn't have been earning money anyway, and perhaps you would rather spend that time having a barbecue, it says looking out the window at the sun, or spending time with your family. So doing your stuff yourself, if you're self-employed such as me, you could figure out whether you're going to be saving money or not getting somebody else to do it, because you could spend the time earning money instead. Or you could spend the time having fun with your family, doing something worthwhile, and have somebody else do all the hard work and the research for you. So I don't know if this formula works, but if you've got a formula yourself where you sit out and you think about, am I going to save money by researching this holiday myself, or would I be better off getting a professional to do it, please do share it. It's facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show, and hopefully that your formula you have will show that it's worthwhile putting down your experience on that Facebook page. Well, that's it for this edition of the John Guinn Travel Show on setclosesounds.org. Don't forget facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show, where you can post your Romanian experiences, how you figure out if you're saving money by doing your own research for your travel, or whether you feel you're better off getting a professional to do it for you. If you've been to Paris and you've seen this increased security, has it made you feel safer? Does it make you worry more? All your comments can be posted at facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show. You could also use the Facebook page to post any questions you have about travel. If there's a destination you're looking to go to, put down what your query is and I'll do my best to answer it in the show. If you're trying to travel the world without flying, put that there. I can put together a show on how to do that. And of course, that'd be a lot cheaper than trying to get somebody to do it for you. And it'd be a lot quicker than trying to figure it out for yourself. All you have to do, visit the Facebook page and post your question. And hopefully you can join me next time on the John Guinn Travel Show on setclosesounds.org, where each week I'll be checking it out before you check in.
MK Pulse proudly sponsors Seclo Sounds. MK Pulse is Milton Keynes' local magazine, bringing helpful information on food, health, fashion, money, travel, culture, and much more to 66,000 readers every month. Plus news, views, and what's on from around the city. If it's happening in Milton Keynes, it's in MK Pulse, and it's available online at www.mkpulse.co.uk. MK Pulse and Seclo Sounds, the heart and soul of the city.